You're listening to the RMTV podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the RMTV podcast. And, mate, big weekend of rugby league, Jordy. How are you,
Lovely
mate?
weekend as well, mate. How are you? I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Brilliant, wasn't
Fantastic. It was, when the Chooks are playing on a Thursday or Friday night, which they have in the past 2 weeks, getting a beautiful win, it's just... makes the weekend's already
start
good.
your weekend right.
You know the weekend's going to be gross.
Yeah, you just know that there's nothing bad that's going to happen that's going to ruin it.
Decent round of footy, I thought. A few upsets. Just going through there. But yeah, mate, look, the run to the finals is coming closer. We're really getting a good idea of who pretenders are. Who contenders are. Yes.
We're down to what, 10 teams that can make the finals out of 17?
It's good. It's good this time of year, and before you know it, it'll be September. Spring in the air, finals footy. But I'll tell you who's not contenders. That's the Titans, mate. 8 losing to the Cowboys 30 at Seabus. Before we get into the game, it was really, I think it turned a lot of people off, was the jerseys.
Yeah, it was
I
like
thought the Titans
jerseys
were the Cowboys, and vice versa,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, well, like, you look at it and you're like, I get it's Indigenous rounds, they've done their Indigenous designs, but genuinely, yeah, every time you'd look and you go, oh, Titans have the ball, oh, crap, no, that's the Cowboys. Your brain's so used to their normal home strip.
Yeah, I think I did tip the Titans, don't know why. I'm leading last on the tipping
I
anyway.
did as well, and I'm coming second, so, I thought they were actually going to get up for it, to be honest.
Nah, look, the Cowboys just they had to get a win after that absolute demolishing the week
No,
before.
but I kind of wanted to see what happened if they lost 2 in a row like that.
Yeah. I guess that's rugby league, mate. 1 week you just get washed up, and then the next you get a dub. But no, I thought Drinkwater played well. He must finish on a strong note before he departs the Saints.
Exactly right.
Titans, just kick him out of the comp. Who cares, right?
Yeah, you know what though? I'm going to question.
They're just so hot and cold.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put this one down to the players. I'm going to put this one down to the coach. I'm going to put this one on Josh Hannay. This year, right? He's worked out the formula. So they've had Zane Harris at halfback, Campbell at 6, Kinney at 1, Brimson in the centres. And then, before the game, with Lachlan Ilias on his bench, he moves Brimson to halfback. And that puts so much pressure on Jaden Campbell that he just couldn't. I reckon, this is going to be my bold, if I ever had a time machine and could go back in time, if Lachlan Ilias played, the Titans win.
Wow, yeah.
That would be, if I had a time machine, I'd want to do that. Somehow get into Hannay's head, Ilias has to play, see what happens, because I think that's what killed them.
Do you think Anasta's giving Hannay a call asking, mate, why wasn't my boy on the field?
Mate, I think Anasta's got a few more problems with his clients at the moment. Or he's too busy dealing with P&G trying to get Munster a monster deal.
Well, he played all right, Munster. We'll get into that soon.
He did.
Mate.
He might be in a bit of trouble, though. So anyway.
And the Wahs, 28 across the ditch, Penrith 12. We saw a bit of this in the background at Watson's before the Chookies game, but wow. The Wahs,
they dominated.
They went beast mode. They added a few more seats at Mount Smart, so they packed that joint out. And, dude, yeah,
Metcalf, man, he led that team.
He's a solid player, man.
Dragons got a good one for next year.
But Penrith blown in the park. They don't always get blown off, but I think they were a bit shocked. And then obviously Isaiah now, he could be done. Still getting scans.
Seasons. If it is a torn pec, his season's done. Like, he won't even play in the World Cup, which as an Australian fan, that's fine. Put Cam Murray there. I'd rather him anyway.
Same.
But,
just like Origin.
Exactly right. But you know what? I kind of feel for them, and then I remember it's Penrith, and I don't really feel for them. Yeah, look, it's one of those things that happens now. So it's going to put a lot of pressure on Penrith because the Wahs literally gave that blueprint now of just if you dominate that middle and start strong early, you can dominate Penrith.
Dude, Fisher Harris, that was personal.
Oh, yeah. Him and Leota, every time they play now, they go at each other. And they love it because they're like best mates behind the scenes. But, yeah, they fucking love it.
They should wear those jerseys again against the Bronx next week.
How hot are they? All right.
That was one of my favourites.
This might be a controversial opinion, and I'm not going to talk about the jerseys because they were the best of the weekend, I reckon. But that just opening entrance pre-game was done best in New Zealand than anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, the way they done that, the way the Kiwis done that, and just...
The haka.
Mate, honestly, just excellence. Pure freaking excellence.
Yeah, and look, dude, Wahs have been in the 4 all year, and there's a sense that they've just been flying under the radar. There's been a lot of Cronulla chat, they're going to be there, Penrith, Chooks. But the Wahs are just doing their thing, man. Well, I've got to give a lot of credit to Webster.
Like, they kind of dropped off a bit. They had a couple of losses. They had a couple of games where they just didn't play that well, but they just squeaked by. And I think that's actually been a theme for most of the top 4, even top 6, is there's games that they just don't play well, but they still win them, which makes for an interesting final series. But, yeah, they've held on a lot longer than I think a lot of people thought they would.
And then Allianz, Chooks 20, Dogs 18, and great night, mate. Great night, good crowd, ticked over 30. I think I pretty about 33. Like 30K, I think it was solid. I think it was a decent, that would have been about maybe 60-40.
I reckon 60-40 is a fair shout.
But they're bloody loud, those Dogs fans. But they chirped too early. They're up 18-8. Obviously, Galvin got in and then Karaz scored. So that's...
Yeah.
But, dude, look, the first half, things just didn't click. If they clicked, we could have been looking at a halftime of like 24-2, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
the scrums were pissing me off.
There was 5 scrum plays where...
It was a knock-on after the
first knock-on or a freaking forward pass that I still don't think was forward. But anyway, like, to be honest, right, I've had a few Dogs fans message me, try to give me shit about it. At the end of the day, the Chooks won, and they deserve to win. But the Dogs weren't as good as the scoreline suggested.
No.
Right? The only genuine try they scored, and by genuine try, I mean that they actually worked for, was Galvin's one.
Yeah.
The Karaz one, mate, it was a Cody Ramsey knock-on.
Yep.
Like, and then pass the ball out to Karaz. Credit to him, he's still got to get the ball, he's still got to score, I get that. But there was only one time in that entire 80 minutes where the Dogs actually looked like challenging our line, and that was when Galvin slipped through and scored. Beyond that, they didn't look like they had a asshole's chance in the world of going over. Like, it looked shit.
I'll tell you what, they targeted Markey a bit that night. I thought there was moments there, but look, maybe that was their plan. Let's try and get in their face, get a bit grubby, kick out.
They did from like a long kick perspective. They went after Markey, but everything short, they went to Billy Smith. Yeah. And Karaz just couldn't beat Billy in the air.
Nah, Billy, dude, he played solid on the wing. Got the first try.
Pat pulled the double out before Fiketti just made the entire back line look stupid for the Dogs.
Yeah, dude, that's... Yeah, I don't know. Like, I always thought we were going to win, but at 18 I was like, ooh.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, but look, yeah, the bounce of luck. Got the win. Happy days.
That's why you don't let bombs bounce, right?
Yeah, exactly right. They'll fucking... Especially for Dogs fans. But, yeah, look, now it's tied on first. We'll see Penrith.
Makes Thursday really nice.
This, the NRL's licking their lips now, right? You just hope if the weather's good, there's a decent crowd at CommBank. I know the Chooks fans. I know us Chooks fans.
Chooks fans will show up. It's whether the Penrith fans show up.
Can the Penrith fans, can they just get on the M4 for once? But both teams, like, in terms of where fan bases are, you're getting on that M4 regardless. Yep. Get to CommBank. Let's pack it out. It's a spot for first. That's what it is.
100%. You're playing... Theoretically, whoever wins this game is almost guaranteed the minor premiership. Almost, because obviously, things can happen in the last few games, but whoever does it, mate, it could be the minor premiership, which is a huge thing.
And then, we'll touch on it, but we'll dive over to Perth. So, Melbourne 42, Manly 20. Fosball up 14-0.
R.I.P. Fosball. Say your prayers.
Well, it's just, it amazes me, right? It's like, all right, we've just given Foz what was it, a 2-year?
I think it's 3.
Oh, well, geez. And then they just start losing games. It's like, maybe having the interim coach is just better tag than just coach. Is there a bit of pressure?
I'm going to go back to something you said earlier this year. A lot of those games that they won after Seabold was fired, they would have won with Seabold. Yeah. But I'm going to go back to my theory that they were throwing games to get there because after Foz came in, they went, boom, this is so great. But you know what? Now they've come back to earth. They're not that good. And if Travojevic is the excuse, well, you know what? that's a pretty piss poor excuse with the amount of football he's missed over the last few years. So, they're just not good enough to compete at this point in time. They're struggling and they're not getting the little things right. They were up, 14-0 at one point, and a severely undermanned Storm team absolutely rolled them.
Dude, they went on a roll. I think you'll see from Melbourne now. Now, I think it could be just a mental thing, but they know they're out of the 8. I think they'll just throw the footy around, a bit of backyard footy, and you'll probably see Melbourne finish 9th or 10th.
Would not surprise me, right? But let's be legitimate, right? Looking at this game, so the first, Manly scored in the 3rd and 21st minute.
Yeah, right.
Then they didn't score again to the 77th, right? So between their 2nd and 3rd try, Manly ran 6 in from the 34, 38, Melbourne 56, 58, 67, 72. That just says to me Manly just didn't have it, or they just gave up.
It's a shame. If you're a Manly fan, this is a game to
that
save
was
our
a season. Yeah.
And now you may put a line through them.
And they've got some tough games coming up as well. Like we heard JT put a line through Penrith for Yo. At what point do we put a line through Manly? Is it because Turbo's not there? They can't do the job.
Yeah. Well, Finns, mate, 40. Broncos 32. This is a similar game as well. Broncos were up 24-0. Ezra having the game of his life. Reece Walsh having a good game because, when Reece is on, he's on. But then someone flicked him off in the second half and Hammer said, I'll take it from here.
Remember the old memes about Dane Gagai?
Yeah.
Where it's like club mode and Queensland mode? Yeah, someone flicked that switch on Walsh. I was at sport and I literally came off, got in the car and was like, I better check the footy score. Looked at it and went, holy shit, what's going on here? The Broncos have showed up. Then next thing you know, I look at it when I get home and the Dolphins are up and I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
They are entertaining games, the Brisbane Derby. Regardless, it was a high-scoring game, but it's entertaining.
They are, but you know what? Like, a lot of people are talking about, even though, the Dolphins gave up 66 points and everyone's talking about, they're really entertaining to watch and that. I don't think they are, right?
Entertaining?
Attacking-wise, yes. But when they attack, they lose their defense.
Yeah.
Right? And when you lose your defense and you get into shootouts with teams, especially coming into finals where you've got Penrith, Warriors, Roosters, Sharks, who can all score a fuck ton of points, if you lose your defense and get into a shootout, it's not a good way to go.
Yeah. It's but credit to Finns, they've locked in a final spot.
Yeah, they've locked it in.
They're made in final spot.
Interesting to see how they go.
I reckon them versing a Souths in week 1 would be a fun game.
The apprentice versus the master, the old Wayne Bennett versus Christian Wolf.
Because Souths can let him points too, so it could be a high-scoring game, and then they'd probably week 2 go up against the Penrith.
Yeah, go up against Penrith when probably the Wahs knock them out
or someone. Yeah, but Bronx, they really want a wooden spoon, don't they? They want more spoons thrown on at Red Hill.
Hey, honestly, but the best part about this, right? So there's 2 things I want to highlight. This is the first time in NRL history. And I think it's even going back to, the old ARL days, New South Wales Rugby League and all that, where the minor premiers and the 2 grand finalists from the year before haven't made the 8. So Melbourne, Canberra, Brisbane. But then also the worst ever result for a premier the following season. And that just makes me happy.
Yeah, it does things for you.
Mate, honestly, it does a lot for me because I'll tell you what, the Bronctards are just... They're so up themselves. It's just nice to see them get demolished. It's happiness.
It's good stuff. And then Raiders. Sorry, Souths 28, Eels 24. They were up 28-0. Souths. They almost blew this.
Almost the biggest choke job ever.
And I think I saw Alex McKinnon. I think he said he was talking to ABC at full time, saying Wayne's not going to be happy about this. They almost lost it, but. Dude, their attack looks pretty good. Cody Walker was on for once. Johnson bagged 3 tries, hat-trick.
Yeah.
It's a shame, Toops hasn't been playing, but he's just really... The gap's getting a bit bigger between him and Toops. But
look,
he just scores tries.
The gap was always going to get bigger between him and Toops. I don't think Toops was ever going to catch him as much as I love Toops. Also, you got to remember, Toops is, 5 years older than AJ. But, when AJ goes to PNG, I can tell you now, the try scoring will go down. 100% it will.
But, dude, Souths...
Held on. They held on.
They held on, and then Para just... I don't know, man. Iongi, he looked in a world of pain.
He's done. From the look on his face alone before anyone got to him, you could just tell.
Yeah, you saw the physio. His face looked a bit concerned.
Yeah, he's done. I don't know what it is. They still haven't announced it, so he'd be getting scans when the swelling goes down. But yeah, you would presume off his reaction, his season's done, which is sad because I actually like him. He's a good young kid. He plays well.
He's electric, that kid.
Mm.
It's a weird one for Parry. You don't know where they're going to be next year, and there's a case of, can Jason Rolls even coach? That's the question you must ask. I mean, they have lost a lot of players, but they'll get Luai next year. If they can't push for the 8 next year.
Yeah, but you got getting Luai this year, next year, is the repeat of what they've done with Jonah Pezzett this year.
And look what happened to Pezzett.
It's a 1-year stopgap. Like, what's it matter?
They become the transit lounge, mate.
Mate, them and the Dragons.
Because Chooks used to be like traditional, weren't they? The transit lounge in the 90s.
Yeah, oh yeah. You'd play a year, go somewhere else after that, or you'd come in and play 2 years till you retired.
And that's when Uncle Nick had to just stamp his authority.
Uncle Nick was like, "Screw this shit, we're not having it anymore. We're going to be better."
And then to kick things off on Sunday, Canberra 24, Knights 30. Didn't get to see this one, but I heard Corey Horsburgh was being a naughty boy.
What a dipshit. What a dipshit.
So okay. was it 26-24 with like 5 to go?
It was 26-24 with about, there's a bit more than 5 minutes to go. Now, I watched the whole game, I watched probably about from the 20th minute of the first half.
Yeah.
Gagai gets the ball off kick, comes out, slides down, Horsburgh goes to tackle him, comes in low. Klein, and look, he hit him a bit high, but Klein was like, no, we're good, we're going to keep going. Like, you slipped, crap happens. Which, and something most people would never hear me say, credit to Klein for having a feel for the game to be able to say, like, no, we need to play on there. There's no need to stop that, right?
Klein loves a feel for the game. We know that.
Yeah, it's something that bloke's never had in his life. So the only thing he feels is what's in his pants. So I'm glad I'm glad he actually had a feel for the game to not penalise it. But then Gagai, a few of the Knights boys, obviously hands up, wanted the penalty, came in, push a little bit of a push here. Gagai got up, started to push Horsburgh, and Horsburgh just slaps him. And I'm just sitting there going, what the fuck are you doing, you idiot? Anyway.
Because that's your cousin as well.
Mate, little known.
Did you text him at full time?
No. He was an immaculate conception. After the 2019 grand final, there were some things that happened and with a Canberra fan, and he came out of that. So you're welcome, Canberra. I'm sorry. Shit. Anyway, and he just and Klein had already blown the penalty for Canberra. Klein was given the penalty to Canberra. And then Ponga, to his credit, came out and said, well, he's just slapped my guy. And you heard a bit of a pause, and then the bunker came in, and Klein called him out and said, mate, at the end of the day, I was giving you the penalty for what Gagai done. You've then slapped him. That's striking. You're on report. You're in the bin. And then next thing you know, Newcastle go downfield and score a try and secure it. Like,
they're just rugby league buzzwords. You're on report, in the bin. That should be one.
Oh, mate. On report, in the bin for 10. See you later. But Ricky's press conference, now the highlight of it was basically he said, they beeped it out on the vision I viewed, but on the live vision it wasn't beeped. It was just a fucking brain explosion. And he's right. It was a brain explosion.
He exploded.
Which leads me to still say this. I said this to you before off air, and I'm going to say it on air for proof. Horsburgh will not be at Canberra next year. He will be at the Broncos.
Wow.
I'm calling it. I reckon this will be I think this will be the final straw where Ricky goes, mate, you got to go. Because Ricky's covered for Horsburgh a lot. Remember there was that whole stuff where...
Yeah, he went off the... remember the finger to the crowd.
All that sort of stuff. Ricky stood by him the whole way. I reckon Ricky might actually draw a line in the sand with him now and go, mate, you're done. Because listening to Ricky's presser, mate, he is fucking ropeable. Ricky O asked him, what do you do for the next 3 games? And he said, mate, drop the F-bomb again. But he's just like, mate, I'm not even fucking worrying about that. I've got more important stuff to worry about right now. We're out of semis. Let me work that out and then worry about what we're doing for the next week, let alone the next 3 weeks.
That's it, mate. You line through Canberra, line through Manly. It's a shame, Ricky, he'll stand by you. He'll stand on that sideline, mate. But if you don't stand by him, you're really testing the relationship, right?
And that's what I mean. Like, has Horsburgh finally... Has he literally gone that one too far, and like now this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back? Because at the end of the day, you can only defend someone so much. Maybe he needs a change. Maybe he needs to get out of Canberra because Mate, not saying the Broncos are
maybe
the best.
send him over to Perth. Who knows?
Mate, send him to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, look. Nah, I think I tipped Knights in that one. I thought that'd just be a little bit too strong.
I can't remember who I tipped, but... Oh, no, actually, I think I went Knights, actually, but thankfully.
And then the last one, to finish things off, St. George, in the derby, man. The local derby, 24, Cronulla 16. Your boy Militala didn't get the chockies.
Sometimes happiness isn't a holiday or a present. Sometimes happiness is just watching a team lose. I've said it for a few weeks now that Cronulla were going to crap the bed at some point. Thank you, Cronulla, for crapping the bed tonight.
What?
Like, I'm going to give...
Is this the second time they versed Saints this year?
This is the second time they versed Saints.
Because I remember we were going back a bit when you were saying Cronulla's Saints' first win of the year. But it would have been the last one.
Yeah, it was the last one. But I said their first win of the year would be, like, against Cronulla. And they just got beaten. They were in that game fairly well and then obviously went up and beat the Broncos. But you know what? I'm actually going to give credit to the Dragons. I'm going to give credit to Gutho, actually, because we were talking in our chat, you, me, and Benny, and I blasted him after that dropout and that stupid knockback he done. Yeah. But after that, he went to another level in his game. Like, one of the best games I've seen him have in a few years now.
When King's on, King's on.
Mate, Kings hasn't been on for about 3 years, but he was on today after that knockback because I reckon someone gave him a gobful for it.
I just had a feeling when it got talked up all week... Nico Hines' consecutive goals.
He was always missing the first one.
I'm like, if he misses the first, I reckon the Saints are in for this. And then look what happens. They got the win. Dude, credit to Saints. Dude, they're playing well. I think if they finish the year off strong, happy days for them because they started the year off pretty rough, man. It was looking very dire.
Yeah, it was. I still have questions about them next year.
Top 8 talks a bit, I don't know.
Yeah, look, theoretically, on paper, they should make the top 8 next year. But I also stand by the fact of with Drinkwater coming in, Drinkwater's like a hands-on ball fullback, right? Then you've got two, a half and a 5/8 in Nicarima and Metcalf who are hands-on ball. I reckon next year, the Dragons are going to struggle until about the midpoint of the season. They'll win a few games here and there. And then sort of back half of the years when they'll put it together. But, mate, their forwards this year have been reasonably good in terms of the young guys coming through. They've put in some good efforts, and they put in a heck of an effort. They rattled Fanua Blake.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's done. He's probably going to be looking at a couple of weeks after his shoulder charge to the chin of Egan. So
it's a funny one. It brings Cronulla back into that pretenders circle.
Yeah,
which they probably are. I mean, Cronulla going to finish first, blah, blah, blah.
I never took them out of it.
No.
Everyone was like, nah, they're going to finish top 2. Well, you know what? When you have the easiest run home of any team, you should finish top 2. Problem is, oh, crap, you lost to the Dragons.
Yeah.
Ipsies. I love living in Cronulla.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see all the Cronulla flags go down tomorrow.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by FDS Eyewear. FDS Eyewear is your one-stop shop for quality, affordable eyewear. With the latest lens technology and weekly eye testing services, FDS Eyewear provides competitive rates over the larger optical retailers. Visit their store at Wentworthville Plaza, just a short drive from Parramatta.
Dribble of the week. So the Bears, the bit of talk, I'm seeing a bit more social media stuff from the Bears, and which is good.
Ramping it up.
They're back, mate. They'll be kicking training off, come November. So it's all happening. But they had the jersey launch at the Wacker. Benny was there in North Sydney for the one there. They did the launch. I think Kevy was there as well.
Yeah, at North Sydney Club. Yeah.
Yeah. Jersey's pretty slick.
I don't mind it.
It's a jersey's a jersey. If you're winning in it, everyone's gonna love it.
Yeah, but I just like the fact they didn't someone turned around to me and says, "Oh, it's just the New South Wales Cup one with different sponsors." Yeah, damn right it should be. That's the Bears jersey. Why change it? Why reinvent the wheel when you don't need to? What you got works. It's iconic. People recognise it. That's the whole point of having the Bears name in this.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. I think cash converters, it's a bit... cash converters a bit tacky, right?
Yeah, but it gives you that old school feel, doesn't it?
Yeah. It gives you a bit of rugby league, right?
Bit of rugby league.
You're not going to see cash converters splash on a rugby union jersey, are you?
No, but that's because they all buy cash converter stores, not buy things from cash converters.
No, it's and I think who was saying it wasn't Gaia. His name's gone past me. Queenslander. What's his name?
Oh, Billy Moore.
Billy Moore. He was saying, they've already surpassed like 22,000 members. Yeah. I think 85 coming out of Perth. So I think I really wanted to see it succeed.
I think it could. HBF looked beautiful on Saturday, to be honest. Like the images I've seen of the game, it looked beautiful.
Dude, I'd be keen. I'm keen to go over there for a Perth Chooks game.
Let's do it.
That ground looks pretty good to watch league at.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a union stadium. They use it for league, but it's primarily a union stadium. So it's set up well for it.
Yeah, no, good stuff. And yeah, look, they're starting to sign a few more players, right? Yeah. I think Morgan Smithies from Canberra, he's over there now.
He's just been signed, yeah.
I think you see that they might pick up a few Super League players. That might be their way in. Like Canberra's done that for a few years.
Well, they've picked up that young half from Cronulla, Puru.
Yeah.
The left footer who's been was playing while Nico was out this year, and they haven't got a top 4 roster, but I think they have a potential top 8 roster.
Yeah. I reckon maybe if anything. Maybe past 12th next year. That's a tick.
Oh, mate, if you finish top 10 to top 12 next year in your first season, that's a tick. Purely on paper, I think they could finish 8th.
Yeah.
But that's just on paper. And I also have doubts about Meninga coaching as well. So
I think
his coaching will cost them a bit next year.
Yeah, time will tell. And well, let's talk about South Sydney, our favourite club. Look, it is funny, right? So Souths, they want to play at Allianz.
We'll get more fans at Allianz.
Yeah, they're crying to play at Allianz. And there's no excuses. It wasn't raining Saturday night. Saturday and Friday night,
you're in the top 8.
You're in the top 8. 2 Sydney teams. Just like Friday, 2 Sydney teams, Roosters and Dogs. And look, there was a beautiful crowd of 30,000 there. The noise was electric. I turned the telly on. I watched South Pro, and I thought, where are the fans? It's a shame, South's
dressed like a seat night.
Prior to the league, right? The oldest, loudest, proudest, and I reckon there was about 10,000 there. They claim, how much did they claim?
They claimed 19,000. Now, you and I have been to many a game at Allianz together. I've probably been a crap load more than you have as well, respectfully, and I've seen that place with 20,000. When the Roosters are reporting 20,000. There is no physical way they had 19,000 in the building on Saturday night. Like, I'm straight up calling them out. That was a load of absolute trash. You did not have 19,000 there. If you had 19,000, they must have been hidden up someone's ass because they definitely weren't, or they were wearing something that made them invisible to the camera. There is no way there was 19,000 people there on Saturday.
They must have counted the people...
Couple extra
the securities, the media teams, or everything, right?
The merch vendors, food vendors.
Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just a shame because they carry on like the pride of the league and they dish up that crowd. So and then they'll be playing their home game against us Chookies. So that'll be an interesting one.
Look, and you know what? There will be over 30,000 there.
Oh, we sold out,
but it won't be like a 60-40 split like it is at a call for the Rabbitohs Roosters. It will be 50-50, I reckon.
Yeah, I was listening to Triple M. Maroon was talking about the Roosters game. I think it was like Friday Arvo had Triple M on, and he said, I think we need to stop joking about the Chooks and their crowds because he's saying the past few years they can get a good crowd. We average the second best in Sydney, I think.
Well, we're the second best in New South Wales. Literally behind Newcastle, who get 25 there every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
So, like, if you think about the last few years, it's been the Broncos, but half their fans leave at halftime anyway. So they go from 40,000 to, 18 by halftime. Then you've got Newcastle, who, as we always say, Newcastle always get crowds. Then we're sliding in there, and then the Doggies and Rabbitohs and Para, they'll kind of be around that 3, 4, 5, 6 range because, games like the Easter weekend game, whoever's home game that is, they get 60, 70,000 there. Well, of course, you should get that many people there on a public holiday. Like, if you don't, there's a freaking issue.
Yeah.
you know.
And it's Indigenous round for South. You know,
That's
credit
important to their club.
to them. The jersey. I thought they had a great jersey, great display.
Kathy Freeman is out there,
and then the crowd. It was echoes. It was crickets, mate.
It just. Well, I mean, to be fair, that's what I've come to know from South Sydney fans, and it's funny because you call them out on it, and South Sydney fans go, "Oh, well, we're coming, 11th or 12th or 15th, and that's why there's no one there. It happens to you guys. You were coming 6th going into the weekend, mate. What's your freaking excuse now?"
Was Latrell there?
Of course he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Well, I didn't see him, but I could be wrong. I didn't see him, so he's probably up in Taree, mate, at Windermere, because I think he sponsored the jersey or something as well. So, but at the end of the day, you're coming 6th. You're playing to lock up a top 8 spot, and you can't get more than 19,000 people. If they played that game at a core, I reckon they would have gotten over 20 because they would have had more Para fans there than Rabbitohs fans.
Yeah, that is
I'm
true.
calling it. I'm calling it now.
Well, that's just another chapter to the Book of Feuds.
Yeah, they suck. We're better. Piss off out of our stadium and don't forget to turn the lights off.
Do you think, like, hypothetically, if they dish a crowd up like that again, should they be kicked out of the competition?
If they dish up a crowd like that ever again, I would love to see them kicked out of the comp. Only purely for my pleasure and entertainment. Like add that to the list of things that would get me going. Is South kicked out of the comp again? Just for the lols.
Devil's advocate here. I'd like to see them play every home game at Allianz next year, just so we can actually compare the crowds.
Yeah.
So the debate's over.
Yeah, but you know what? Even if our crowd's better, they will find a way to turn and go, "Oh yeah, but you had better slots or this." Be a better team and you get better time slots, don't you?
Yeah. And,
not hard.
All right, let's talk about the run home. So, look, JT, he declared it. Jonathan Thurston, he declared it over the weekend that Penrith without Isaiah, he's put a line through them.
Yeah, which is very interesting.
That's just Penrith would love to hear that. They'll probably blast that through the headquarters, and that's just only going to look. It's going to fuel Penrith to try and go that one better.
Oh yeah,
it's whether or not can they do it. Do they still have the backs? Obviously,
Edwards is still out at the moment with his shoulder issue.
Yeah, depends if he plays. I don't know. I don't ride off Penrith because I used to, and they kept winning competitions.
But also they've got an okay run home, right? If we're really breaking it down, so they've got a chance to put them in a good position for the finals. I don't think they go any lower than second. If they go lower than second, they've got us on Thursday, then they play Melbourne in Melbourne, then they play the Dogs, and they play West.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, right.
So there's 2 games they could possibly lose there, which is us and the Dogs. I think that they're the only games that they could possibly lose.
They're big games.
The Storm and West game they should win. If we're being genuine, they should win those games. So even if they go 2 for 4, they should still be in a good position come finals. Yeah. And then you just got to sort of sit down and go, all right, well, do they have enough in the tank with everyone else there?
Will it be like last year? Do they bow it in prelim? South did it for years in Broncos.
I don't.
South, do you remember back in, probably from say 2017 or maybe 22, Souths, they'd always make a prelim and just bow out every year.
That 20 prelim.
Canberra's knocked them, Roosters knocked them out.
That 2018 prelim where we beat them to get in the grand final is still one of my most favourite games of all time.
Yeah, when Momorowski played Latrell.
Last game we ever played at the football stadium before it got knocked down. And we beat them, and what a game!
It was good. Yeah, but Penrith. I don't think they're going to win the comp this year.
Be wary of the wounded team, right? They may not win it, but they're going to try and put damage. I'd love to see them go out in two straight sets. To be honest,
that'd be very nice, wouldn't it?
But yeah, you got to be wary of them,
especially this week. But yeah, it depends if they're going to play Cole with Cleary. Obviously, I think. Ivan's had he's a bit sus over Blaze.
Well, I mean, Blaze was found
defensively
out
as well. Yeah,
Blaze I reckon it was his defensive efforts was the issue. Nothing wrong with what he's doing offensively. He's a great offensive player, but there was definitely some defensive issues, and teams were just targeting him. So, I think to be honest, if Blaze plays, it actually suits the Roosters because we love using that right side of Siwa, Bobby, and Markey. So it would suit us if Blaze plays, but I think Cole or Cogger will play.
And then, Tallis, he said on Triple M that this is the wide, the comp's wide open now. It's for the taking, And it's actually really refreshing to see.
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people, there's been a bit of chatter about blowout scores. I mean, like, God forbid, how many times is it there's an 80-10? First time it happened since 1935, right?
Exactly right.
And, you know, there's been blowouts and blowouts. When you compare the NRL to the AFL, where, you know, everyone loves comparing the two, but I was just on Sportsbet. I had a look at the odds for some AFL games. There was like an AFL game of like $1.10 to $19.
Yeah.
$1.10 to $12. Like there's some very predictable games in the AFL, and any day on the league, any team can win.
And you know what's funny though about that is I think to the NRL this year, I think maybe once I saw that sort of
score
that sports bet odds before a game.
Penrith Saints?
I think it was, Penrith Saints. Beyond that, I've seen it a couple of times in the NRLW when it's like Broncos and someone and Roosters someone. But funnily enough, one of those weeks was this week, and the Broncos women's actually got upset 28-4 by Canberra. And Canberra were paying like $13 before the game to win. So, like, as you said, the league's got a chance for everything. It's just who turns up on the day.
Yeah, pull up the premiership odds, because I had a look this morning. I think the Chooks, my memory serves me right, I think we're about $4.20 now. Penrith maybe in the $3, or maybe late twos. But
well, all right. So we're looking grand final winner.
Yeah, take out the comp.
Penrith are $3.30.
Wow.
Chooks are $4.20. Wahs are $7, and then Cronulla's 10, Dolphins 11, Newcastle South are 23 each. Dogs and North Queensland are 41 each. Manly's 81. And even though we know they're eliminated, technically Melbourne and Canberra are still able to make it, but they need a lot of everything goes their way. Melbourne are 251 and Canberra are 501. Yeah. So, you know, theoretically it's a 3-horse race if you put the Wahs in there, and then it starts to stretch a bit.
I think that's the bracket I'm looking at. I'd have, I think, Penrith, Wahs, Chooks, contenders.
Yeah.
And then the rest, all in it for a chance.
Well, going to the minor premiership odds, it's a 2-horse race. At the moment, it's Penrith $1.45, the Chooks $3, and then it goes to New Zealand at $14.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Yeah, I don't see the Wahs coming first, but
it's pretty much just down to Chooks and Penrith now.
But it was good from Tallis. He was stating the obvious, but you know,
that's what happens when CTE affects you like that.
Yeah, but it's good to see the comp wide open. I think the 6 agains have reigned in. I actually think the refereeing the past 2 weeks has been pretty solid.
But did you notice after that sort of big weekend where there was like 81 or 96 agains, and they started to go, let's rein it in. The games have gotten tighter. The games have been more enjoyable. There's actually been less blowouts. Or if there is a blowout, it's not until that last sort of 15 minutes where one team just switches off that it happens. So it's genuinely the only exception I can think of is Cronulla Dolphins and Chooks Cowboys that were genuine, just absolute destruction blowouts.
It happens, dude. It happens.
But even the Chooks Cowboys, the first 20 minutes, it was like 12-6. So, like, I think now that they've reined that 6 again in, it's made it a more enjoyable product.
And, all right, let's talk about the global round. So that's been reported. It's been spooked around a few reports. I think Code Sports, Volandis wants to look at a global round for 2028.
Yeah.
Throwing in England, Hong Kong, Japan. What's your thoughts on it, dude? Do you think... I was having this chat with... Oh, yeah, it was Benny, yourself, and I about, should we focus on the grassroots or global?
I understand it. I like it to an extent, but I also don't like it. Reason I don't like it is, as a someone who buys season memberships every year, I don't want to lose a game overseas, right? I don't like that because that's a game I may not be able to get to. And let's say I want to travel through the year. Like I normally go down to Melbourne because I've got family down there, so I see them, then go to the game. I try and get to a Brisbane game. There's a few things I want to tick off, off the rugby league bucket list. But, like for next year or like the year after, I've got to say, all right, would I rather go to Magic Round or travel to Japan for one game of rugby league sort of thing? Like, obviously you're going to go and do more while you're there, but I like the idea of it. But the state that a lot of grassroots rugby league is in at the moment, I want to see more investment in grassroots. Like, there are clubs that are genuinely folding at the moment in some associations because they don't have enough players. It's too expensive. There's parents out there that can't afford it. Well, with how much money the NRL is making, why aren't we seeing a bigger investment into grassroots?
Yeah. I agree. I think the global round's cool. Or I don't know what
on paper it's a great idea.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to go, but I think you got to give a fair whack to grassroots. So if you start pulling, if there's enough money going to where rugby league's from, the players aren't going to come, right? And we're going to have 20 teams soon. Exactly.
We need to get players up to get them into that level.
So unless they're going to start making artificial intelligent players, right? They're going to start bloody...
And the other thing, right, as well, like, so you know how we go to Vegas at the moment. So the 4 teams are playing Vegas. They, we have a week off, and then round 2 is the 3rd week of the season. What are you going to do when everyone plays a global round? You're going to start the season, then you're going to have to make the time zones work perfectly for Australian audiences, because at the end of the day, you need the Australian audiences to be watching it. You're not going to play a game at midnight our time if you're playing in England, are you?
You'd have to play them in, like, the Arvo there.
Yeah,
or
but...
like 1 o'clock there, something. I don't know what the times would...
Yeah, depending where you go, you've got to make the time zones work.
So say this, right? Broncos, Roosters, round 1 in Japan. Would you go?
Oh,
if they had a good deal, I'd go, I reckon.
I've
never been to Japan.
Look, I've been to Japan, and it's a beautiful place. Because I've been
baseball?
There, because I've been there, I probably wouldn't go unless it was a damn good deal. But it'd have to be a damn good deal. Like, and I'd have to take the wife because we'd have to make a holiday out of it and do all the touristy stuff. But
that's what I enjoy. I try and put a bit of rugby league into a holiday, like New Zealand last year. You make a weekend out of it. It's good fun.
Yeah. That's what I've done with Brisbane this year. It was great. Made a weekend out of it.
But are you making a weekend out of going to England, right?
No,
I think that's more for you want to give something to the English fans.
Yeah. Look, you know what I'd love if they'd done? You put on a double header. So let's say the game's at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Right? Just using that as an example. You put on
Canberra versus Broncos.
Yeah, whoever. So fuck it. Chooks Broncos. Give them a real show. Go Chooks Broncos, and then straight after that you have St. Helens versus Wigan. Because, that'll be around there, round 1, round 2. Mate, put a double header on for us in England. Or, because then we can, I'm that guy. I love going sitting there watching 2-3 games. I've never been to Vegas. I'd love to do Vegas if the Chooks ever went back again. I've never been to Vegas for the football anyway. But, make it a show. Make it worth time. Because if people are travelling all that way, you want to make sure. And I'm sure it'll be double headers with, 2 NRL games. But let's make something good out of it. But also don't forget, especially with the talk of how important it is to be at 20 teams, like you said, we need these players developing so that we've actually got something to give to that 20th team. Yeah. We can't just poach.
You can't forget your roots, mate.
Exactly. You always got to remember that root.
The RMTV podcast is brought to you by The Legal Problem Solver. The team brings over 25 years of experience in wills, probate, estates, conveyancing, property and commercial law. Connect with The Legal Problem Solver on LinkedIn, Facebook and Instagram.
So let's dive into round 24. Kick things off. Thursday night, Combank Stadium. Penrith, $1.64. Chooks, $2.26. This is obviously all before Teamless Tuesday, but I expect Teddy to return.
He'll be back.
Credit to Robbo, resting him. Great. I think it was the right decision.
I think he wasn't. He was 80%.
I think Teddy, he could have played.
Yeah, he
but
could have.
He could have, severely. He could have injured himself even more.
Yeah,
you don't know.
You don't take the risk. We got the win. That's what matters.
Yeah, he could have got a hat trick. You just don't know. But again, he'll be back out there this Thursday night. Yeah. You'd hope there'd be 20k plus there.
Look, the only thing that
Thursday night, the
only thing would hurt it is it's a Thursday night, and Penrith don't travel to Combank. Penrith fans don't travel to Combank as well as it is. But you should get 20k to that. That's 1v2. Pretty much could decide the minor premiership. And to be honest, how good would it be at Allianz, South's home game, Roosters get presented with the minor premiership shield at a South's home game at Allianz? How good would that be?
It brings a joy. It's jubilation.
Gets a bit of a feeling there, doesn't it?
It does. A bit of feeling upstairs, downstairs, mate.
Bring it on, mate. It gets that little tingle.
Time will tell, but I think Chooks. This is going to be a good game. Both teams are up for it, stating the obvious. But I'm going 13+ Chooks.
I'm going Chooks 1-12 because it's going to be a grind of a game. But I think with possibly no Edwards, with Yo being out, because even if it's not as serious, there's no way he's playing this week after his reaction. I just couldn't see it happening. Or if he does, he's going to get severely hurt. I just think that the Chooks might just have enough because I think they're building for this game. Everyone talks about the Cowboys game. I think they're building for this Penrith game because that's the monkey we got to get off our back.
This is it.
Yeah. We beat them last year at CommBank. You know, theoretically, with a reserve grade side, we beat them.
I see that happening, dude.
I think we
I'm
could
being
do
a
it.
bit ballsy, but I don't think of flogging, but I seriously could see like a 26-12.
Yeah.
And that's just 13+.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it could be a similar game to the Wahs Chooks. If we are forward pack Nafua, he's gonna be
Look,
he's angry, man. They're gonna pump this guy up.
I'm gonna pull my Robbo card out. If I'm Robbo, I'm literally going Nafahu and Nat to start. And then Spencer and Lindsay through the middle.
You're getting me excited now.
Because, look, a lot of people gave Lindsay shit on the weekend, going, he looks like you get rid of him. Mate, the guy's missed over 6 weeks with a concussion, and there's a reason he missed 6 weeks. It's his first game back. And as I said to a few people, let him get his feet going this week, bring him back for next week. Can you imagine Spencer and Lindsay coming off the bench in that middle period next week?
That's what I'm saying, dude. This is the game. Like they've circled this all year. You know, there's always been we've struggled to beat Melbourne and Penrith, and I don't think. Oh well, last year we did it. But
last year we went 1-1 with Melbourne. This year we went 1-1 with Melbourne. So if you're splitting 1-1 with Melbourne for a year, I'm happy with that because Melbourne is a good team. Yep. We could have been 2-0 on Melbourne. Earlier this year, Penrith swamped us at Allianz. They beat us 40-4. The first 10 minutes of that game, we were on top, and then it just went to shit. But I'm still going to stand by. Penrith had such a monkey on their back to start the year after being knocked out in the prelim last year. Because if you look at their first 5 rounds, they flogged everyone they played. But then that downhill slide started. They weren't as dominant. They had a couple of games like the West game and that they were like, yeah. But then they just sort of, they're on that decline a bit, mate.
Could be like the reverse of last year. I'd love to see it, right? I'd love for us to go out there and just flog the shit out of it.
Solid defense, beat the crap out of them through the middle, open the doors. Walker needs to be on. Like, he does need to be on.
Got to get that kicking right.
He's got to get his conversions right. I still stand by he must hate kicking at Allianz because he struggled there this year, but he's been fine everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm excited for this one.
It's going to be good.
Yeah. The pack, you know, credit to Penrith. They got a great pack as well. So it's going to be a dogfight.
Oh yeah, you got to get in that grind. Like Nafahu versus Leota, like that makes you drool as a rugby league fan.
Yeah, I was talking to this fella, and he was just talking about just rugby league in general. He was like, mate, you know, he's like, this is what you live for, rugby league, and then before you know it, the finals come, and then you got the cricket. He said the cricket's good, but you got the cricket, you know, put it in the background.
Cricket starts on Thursday.
Yeah, and then he goes, but then you get to Jan, and then between then, there's this time where you just click your fingers, and then rugby league's back. You know, It's just this cycle, but it's the greatest game of all for a reason, and hopefully they can showcase that this Thursday, and then into Friday, Manly $2.35, Finns $1.60. I think it's safe to say Manly lose this one at home.
Oh, they're done.
They're done.
Yeah, Manly.
I think they're already done, but
Manly lose this game, they are genuinely done.
Do you give them a sniff?
I give him a sniff. I'm going Finns by 4.
I think it was 40.
No, 4. Only 4. Because I reckon Manly are going to give this a crack. But I think with Katoa back, how good that back line of the Dolphins is. If the Dolphins can defend their line, they will win. If they don't, if they get into a shootout with Manly, I think Manly pop them.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Look, Finns put a bit of miracle off with the comeback, but they can do that. The Finns, once their attack clicks.
Oh, when it clicks, it clicks.
They're dangerous. I'm gonna go Manly. Manly by 1.
Who's kicking the field goal? Walsh, Fogarty,
Joey Walsh.
Oh, jeez, all right.
I don't know. I think they might just get it at home. I think Finns are due for a loss.
Yeah, they are, but I think
they're hot and cold still, and
it's that again. It comes back to that defense. If they defend well, I think they can do it. But if they don't defend well, they got no hope.
right, yeah. Manly just look. It's a bit of a smoky one, but
You're basically, if you're Manly, this is your season.
this is it. So, and I expect this to be a sellout. I think that they're going to give it one last crack for Fosball, mate. And then our doggies, $1.69, South Sydney, $2.18. Another good clash. Two big Sydney teams. One pride of the league.
So called.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
Can I hope for a double forfeit? Both teams lose.
A draw.
No draw. I don't want points either. I just want both teams to lose. Like, suspend them all before game starts or something. Nah, look, I'm kind of leaning towards South because I think South might actually, there's a few people back like your Fafita's and possibly Campbell Graham. Murray looks like he's back. So
he's be played.
I think, I think if Murray, Fafita and all that are there and they're on form, I actually think they're going to win because looking at the Dogs last weekend, again, they played well for 11 minutes and 2 of those tries were on the back of stupidity and errors from the Roosters. Take them out, it's a 20-8 game.
Yeah.
I think the Dogs will be up for it. Like, if the Dogs do their physicality from the weekend, they definitely have a shot. But I know something in my head is just saying South's are going to just get them.
I'm going to get the Dogs.
Disagreeing again.
Yeah. I reckon the Dogs. I think they'll just be a little bit grittier. I think this is their season on the line.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They lose this, they've got to match whatever the Cowboys do for the rest of the year, and hope they get one up on the Cowboys to get back in the 8. So
I think it's a case of South are due for a loss as well.
Yeah,
they almost blew that against Para.
But also, then the flip side of that is that the wake up they needed to not blow it again.
Well, we'll see who blows.
Find out Friday night. See who really blows.
And then the Sharkies $1.35, Canberra $3.25. Cronulla bounce back?
I think Cronulla will bounce back, but
will the Ricky blow up?
There will be a big rocket up the arse of every single Canberra player. This one, Cronulla field goal.
Ooh.
First time this year I've called it. It'll be a Cronulla field goal.
What, Nico?
No, Trindle. Fuck Nico.
Yeah.
It'll be Trindle. Trindle's better.
Yeah, look, at Shark Park, Portaloo Park.
Yeah, Portaloo Stadium, also known as Kennard's Hire Stadium.
What's the other one?
Portaloo, Kennard's Hire. What else? We called it something else.
Who knows? But anyway, I reckon...
Chick Seat Stadium.
Yeah, Sharks by... I think, Sharks back in the winning circle, 13+.
Yeah, I think they'll bounce back, but...
Ricky won't be happy after tonight.
Canberra's going to get a massive rocket up their ass. I can see it.
And then Parramatta, $2.41. Cowboys, $1.57 at CommBank. I'm going to say Para.
I actually don't know. I genuinely don't know. I could see the Cowboys coming down and ambushing them. But I think if Para take anything out of this weekend, it needs to be that second half of how they sort of stuck it to Para.
No Aongi.
Stuck it to South. No Aongi, though, makes me go Cowboys. So I think the Cowboys will get up. But if Para... Because Joash Papali'i will probably come in and play fullback. But it'll be interesting to see what certain people have to say about whether Para picked the right side, right? Yeah. That's always an entertaining one when the team list comes out.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to go Cowboys.
I'm going to go
Cowboys
Cowboys.
12.
I'm going
The more I'm thinking about it, I think Para just... I think they're done, dude.
Cowboys 13+. They'll blow it open in the last 15 to 20.
And then Broncos, $2.51. The Wahs, $1.53.
Wahs. No. It's in Brisbane, which means it's a Wahs home game.
No, I think, Wahs as well. They're looking good, man. I think...
They play well at Suncorp.
Yeah, Metcalf's back. Bronx, they just... It could be a game. This could be a game again, like Bronx are up 12-0, and then they just blow it, and Warriors win like 38-16 or something.
Yeah. Honestly, that's a good score predictor.
13+?
Yeah, 13+ Wahs.
And then Nui, $1.28 back at home. Titans, $3.73.
Yeah, Nui.
Yeah.
I don't... If Harrison's not playing. If Ilias doesn't play for the Titans, like I'm going Knights by 30 sort of thing. Like I'm talking a 40-10 game.
It always feels right when Newey in the finals.
Yeah, just different feel for it.
Yeah, dude, Newey, I think they're just cruising.
They're getting the job done.
And then the last one, Tigers, $1.64. They've had a week off, right? I don't think anyone actually gave a fuck that they were off for a week.
No, I think everyone celebrated it, to be honest. 2 points for the Tigers, that's fine. We don't have to watch them this week.
Dude, if you're a betting man, the Saints are paying $2.27 for this one.
Let's have a look, because that odds were taken just before the game finished.
Yeah.
Let's have a squiz here, see if they've been updated in the last, I don't know, what is it?
Regardless, I'm going Saints.
Oh, look, so
They're
am I.
in form, I reckon.
So am I. I reckon they're going to flog them.
Flog them.
Oh, no, still $2.27. Interesting. I thought they'd go up a bit after that win. Maybe the bookies are thinking they used everything for Cronulla and they're not going to have anything for West, but
yeah.
No, I'm going Dragons as well, mate.
Where's it at? What stadium? I didn't pick that one up.
I believe it's at Combank. Sorry, let me just triple check that.
Combank Sunday.
It is at Combank on a Sunday. And also...
Is that the 4 p.m. time slot?
It is the 4 p.m.
Jeez.
So apologies to, all the fans, because you had Cronulla and Dragons this week, which was actually a good game. I will give it credit. It was a good game despite what everyone thought.
The derby's always solid.
Yeah, but then next Sunday you get Wahs and Dragons, which is, a bit of a poo slinger. Then the Sunday after you get Roosters and West, which is possibly a poo slinger. And yeah, there's a lot of poo slingings happening on Sundays at the moment.
Well, you associate poo with the Tigers.
You do.
And then it slings. That's how it works.
Yeah. Slings on someone's face. Maybe Benji's.
Yeah, look, I don't know, man. Tigers... You just sit
There's
back
something
and
wrong.
There's something wrong. I don't know what the fuck's wrong. Like,
where do you want me to start?
Dude, they started the year so well, and now they're up against a team which is, the Saints they're in last position, but I think they're just going to turn it up and get the win.
Look,
I think they're in a better headspace. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of energy coming off this win. Look, Val Holmes, he copped a lot of crap earlier this year for how bad he was playing. Val's not, I'm not going to say he's back at his old self, but he's in a much better position on the field than he was, beginning of the year. So whether he's playing hurt, I don't know, but he's found a little bit of form. He's getting back to what you would expect from him, and, they've got some guys that are getting jobs done, especially those young forwards like your Egan, Stewart, the Couchman boys. Obviously only one's playing at the moment, theoretically, but, it's just, you can tell there's just a bit of excitement around those young guys.
And then when you turn to Tiger, there's just a bit of darkness.
Appy's there. The bloke who made a joke about them at his grand final celebrations before he went there. And then had to do a press conference about, oh, no, I love the club. I want to do my best there.
And then the guy there who's off to PNG, but he was never going to leave.
Via the Eels. To be fair, though, I'm going to give him a little bit of credit. The Eels thing wasn't him. That was West telling him to go. So I'll cut him a little break. You've got a halfback there who didn't want to play lock for them.
Had a whinge.
Missed the week. Then they had 50 put on him by Canberra.
They can't figure out where their home ground is.
Don't know where their home ground is. Pick one of the three.
You're playing at Concord, Leichhardt, Campbelltown, Combank, Accor.
I got a few mates who are West fans.
No final since 2011.
And the best things about the West Tigers organisation right now is their PDRL team. Their physical disability rugby league team. And this sounds mean, but you know what? The only team that is genuinely winning games in West Tigers colours right now is their PDRL team.
And you got to give him credit.
Mate, one of my mates plays for them. Shout out Dan Jennings. He put this on. He got picked for the Australian team for the World Cup later this year. So, well done, mate. Stuff. Congratulations. Yeah. Fucking first year playing rugby league. Well done. But
is there a world where they play for the first grade team?
Mate, I probably would put half of them in over the first grade team. I've watched a bit of games because, having a mate playing for them, and they are the epitome of the best thing coming out of that club at the moment is their PDRL team.
Yeah, there's just, it never ends for Tiger Town, mate.
No.
Reports of vaping.
vaping in the gym and look, to
it's
be
like
honest,
mid-set little vape. What's going on?
I think that's a load of bullshit. There's no way high performance managers and S&C coaches are letting that happen. Is it happening in the change rooms? Maybe. Well, is there a certain player with a bum bag who always calls out what everyone else is doing and, saying that CEOs shouldn't tell him to not be a gangster and should worry about being a football player, or worrying about, I wasn't told why I wasn't playing for the Blues. Well, look at your form this year, bro. That's why you're not playing for the Blues. Maybe he's got something in that bum bag, getting into it. I just...
It's all alleged. We can't confirm this or deny it.
Mate, Reece Walsh may have drunk out of the toilet last year, but West is showing us why half their club is down that toilet.
Yeah. And look, Walsh got the last laugh there. He turned that into a marketing tool.
Mate, made mozza off it.
So... maybe there's a day where the Tigers can turn all this vaping in the dressing rooms into a marketing tool, but they got to start winning.
There's a plumber on the Central Coast. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name, so I won't. I'll be good. But he had an idea that he put up on his socials about NRL-themed toilets.
Yep.
See, now, that's me. I'd love to get a South Sydney one because then I could literally shit on South Sydney every time.
What would your TP be? It couldn't be South, so you'd have to... Cronulla TP?
Oh, Cronulla TP with Mulatalo's face. And then a South Sydney wrap toilet just so I can literally say shit.
And what's the plunger? What team's that one?
Oh, the plunger? Probably the Dogs. Because I'll tell you what, if there was ever a team that needed to get rid of a blockage, it's the Bulldogs.
And then the Glen 20's the Chooks.
Yeah, because it just gets over there, but like a nice quality. Like not so much Glen 20, but like the Purina air fresheners things. Just give me a bit of that. Chooks flavoured.
Beautiful, mate. Well, let's wrap it up. Big game this Thursday.
Got to get ready for it.
I think the week will fly. It's been flying, mate. We're in August. Can you believe that?
Cricket starts on Thursday. Bangladesh.
Yes.
Shout out to the Bangladeshis as well. They lost to the second 11 for Cricket Australia.
Well, that's dire then.
By an inning and 38 runs. So that was nice. They got bowled out for 54 in 20 overs in their second inning. So keen to see what the Aussie attack's going to do to them.
All right, mate. Well, guys, thank you very much for tuning into the RMTV podcast. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications from Jordy and I. It's good night.
Have a great night, guys.